Well, we'll be live in a minute.
Okay.
And we are live.
Wow.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 56th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for April 27th. Dropping frames.
That's not fun.
Shut up.
That's not nice.
Whatever,
Don't
I
tell
only
me.
dropped a couple. We should be good.
Don't tell
I
me
just
what
gotta
to
keep
do.
my eye on it for the rest of the podcast. So, welcome to the 27th or 56th episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast for April 27th. With me, as always, back from somewhat of a hiatus, Joe, aka Batman.
Well, hello. It's nice to finally be back. Been so busy. It's ridiculous.
I know you've been busy. What have you been busy with, Joe? Tell the
Uh,
people.
I, oh, I hate you. I've been at school, doing school, finishing up my last couple of days of college, I guess you can call it. I'm in college for entertainment technology. So for the past 4 weeks, we've done two separate plays. So we've set up the stage, set up the lighting, this audio, and then ran the show for a week. So I've been in a theater from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. pretty much every single day. Yesterday we had to tear down the set, so I didn't get home until like 7 a.m., which sucked, but it's fun and I enjoy it. That's what I've been doing and why I've been gone for so long.
And while you've been gone, have you been playing any games?
There was one day I brought the N64 to the school or theater. I found a TV to plug it into, and I was playing Banjo-Kazooie and Star Fox 64. But other than that, I've had no time for any video games.
You and I have been in a very similar situation. Basically, Justin and Jarrett came on the podcast 2 weeks ago, and that whole week I didn't play any games because I didn't have time. Week after that, also didn't have time. And then this week, I definitely didn't have time to play any games. I've only played one game two games over the last couple weeks, and that's been Civilization 5 and FTL.
Nice.
I've been playing FTL when I have 20 minutes, because I'm I only have 20 minutes. What can I play in 20 minutes? Oh, FTL. Okay, FTL. Because you can play a whole game of FTL in 5 minutes, or you can play a whole game of FTL in 50 minutes. It kind of just depends on how quickly you get smashed a bit by aliens. But
Yep.
and then in the case of Civilization 5, I've been playing that with my girlfriend. We've been playing it in hot seat. So when I'm at her house, her and I have been playing a game together, on the same computer. So it's
Yeah.
we have 30 minutes. Okay, let's play Civ for half an hour. And so we've been playing it half an hour at a time. Because it's kind of like playing a board game, so that's kind of nice. But also, we don't have to constantly set up the board game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But those have been pretty much the only two games I've been playing because I've been getting ready for a fight or hanging out with my girlfriend. And so yesterday, I had a fight. I got kicked in the head a bunch of times, and my legs really hurt now. Got big ol' gross marks on my arms, and I'm bruised everywhere, and I feel terrible. But we're here for the podcast. It's also why the podcast is early. I have things to do tonight related to fight, so.
Gotta go kick some more butt.
Okay. We're dropping a lot of frames, so I'm going to just turn off the live stream. Because
All right.
it's not going to work.
Yep.
No one's watching anyways.
Okay.
So,
By
sorry,
anyone who's not watching.
Sorry, one person who might come late. Yeah, so I haven't really been playing many games, but I plan on playing more games this week because my girlfriend's leaving town and I start work on Monday and I go back to school next week. So, two things. I'm going to have some more time and I'm gonna have money to buy video games. So,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah, boy.
I'm going to be playing a lot more video games soon too because I'll be done school and I have nothing to do. And I need to start making video game reviews again and all that kind of fun junk. So,
Darn right.
be playing a bunch of shit again.
So let's just jump into news this week and then just kind of, have a nice relaxed podcast. Kind of try to rip through it.
I'm fine with that.
Do about an hour.
Okay.
So it was announced this week through Famitsu that Nintendo and Tecmo Koei are developing a new Fatal Frame title for the Wii U, which is perfect. They're finally developed, like, the one game that should be on this machine is finally coming to this machine. I'm excited. I know, like, God, talked about Fatal Frame being on the Wii U a couple times. I'm pretty sure I've talked about it with Silvermania Show. We talked about it when Shane, aka Rerez, was on. So, if you don't know what Fatal Frame is, Fatal Frame was like a horror game it was for PlayStation, right? Yeah. And you had like played some like photographer who had a camera that could see ghosts. So you would have to like walk around and then like bring up your camera, and sometimes there would just be a ghost like right there, and then they would brutally murder you. And so you would have to like walk around, bring up your camera so you could see if there's any ghosts nearby, and they would always jump scare the shit out of you because they were never like at the end of the hall. They were always like in your face. But it's perfect for the Wii U because then you can just like bring up the pad and like look around with that.
And the pad's gonna be right in your face. Oh my god.
Yeah, you're gonna bring the pad up right into your face, and there's going to be a ghost there screaming at you out of the gamepad, and you're gonna shit your pants.
That does sound
I'm excited.
awesome. I'd be excited for that if I had a Wii U.
You're gonna have to get one eventually, maybe.
I will.
Also, we'll have to see if they release Fatal Frame in the US, because sometimes they don't do that.
Yeah, hopefully they do. Actually, let's hope they release it in Canada.
Well, if it comes to the US, it comes to Canada. Jesus, what else this week? So it was announced through Twitch that they are the biggest live streaming service in the United States. Which
I'm not surprised.
Well, they beat out a lot of other live streaming services like Major League Baseball and ESPN and CNN and NBC.
That's pretty impressive, but
like
yeah,
they beat out mainstream media outlets at the internet. I'm surprised by how much they beat them out. They account for like 43.6% of all live stream traffic in the United States.
Holy crap.
And then the WWE live streaming service, which launched like a month ago, came in second, accounting for 17.7%.
Damn.
And then like everyone else has like, yeah, very little.
Well, it is gaming, and people love to watch gaming, and most gamers know how to use the internet. So, what's the basketball stuff? A lot of people just watch on TV anyways.
Yeah, well, this is like only live streaming stuff. Like YouTube and Netflix doesn't count because there's a streaming service, but it's not a live stream. So
yeah,
it has to be live. That's the key word. Otherwise, YouTube would just like destroy everything.
YouTube would always win. But I was just gonna say.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say it's because I could see why Twitch would be winning, mostly because, well, you can watch basketball and wrestling and all that on TV. Can't really watch people playing video games on TV.
No, but people who want to watch that wouldn't want to watch it on TV anyways. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I mean, you can't make enough good video game content to fill out a 24-hour block of television.
Yeah.
At least you didn't used to be able to. I think that you could do that now if you see how much like stuff is really good that's out on YouTube now. You could put that on TV, but I don't think I would want to.
I don't
like,
think it.
Plus, the channel would pretty much exclusively be like Drontron style video game reviews. Cause like that's like the best stuff that's on YouTube. Like,
there'd probably throw some Let's Plays in there. They'd probably throw in some of those, like, I don't know, maybe something like what Freddie Wong does, but more video game style. There's some good of those. There's some good videos that are like, I can't even think of it. It was like Mario. It was Dr. Mario, but it was like a live action Dr. Mario kind of show. That was good. So there's a lot of stuff, but again, it's hard to create.
Yeah, but I think like the most prominent stuff.
Schedule.
I think the stuff that's like the most prominent that comes out on a consistent schedule that is watchable is like that review style content, like that comedic review.
Is. Yeah.
Whereas like those parodies and stuff take a lot longer and a lot more time.
Yeah, they do.
And they're hit and miss. Like you could do one parody and it'll, like, if you look at those channels that just do those real life, like video games and real life parody stuff, they're so hit and miss. Like they'll do one video and it'll get millions of views, and then they'll do another video which could even be better but gets 5,000.
Yeah.
Just because like those videos go viral and then that's it, but they don't like get any they don't retain. They don't build an audience because they're so inconsistent.
Yeah.
So we've got very little news going on. Project Cars has a release date for November set, and they showed off
Cars.
Project Cars. It was a game. It's in development for like a whole ton of stuff. I think it was kickstarted. If I'm
okay,
not wrong. No, I am wrong. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
Ryan.
It's a racing game for PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, and PC, and it's gonna support Morpheus and maybe Oculus on PC. Because I mean, if they're doing Morpheus, they might as well do Oculus. Yeah. But it's basically an indie game. Like, it's independently developed and distributed. It looks really good for like a simulation style racing game, which is nice because there's not a lot of those anymore.
Yeah.
More
of a fan of the arcade style.
What else has happened since you've been gone?
It's only been like a month.
Goat Simulator took the world by storm, and
goats everywhere.
Just wasn't. I don't get it.
I kind of want to try it. I heard it's getting multiplayer soon. That
still
sounds
don't get it. Like,
what's not to get? It's goats doing goat things.
No, it looks
breaking shit.
It looks so stupid. It's just like, I'm gonna shoot my tongue out like as if I was a frog, and then fling my body around somehow. Like, your broken physics engine does not make a game. And then all of the YouTube videos came out for Goat Simulator, and I was like, yup, that's why they did that. And
I think it's just an easy way to break like an hour or so of time just to fuck around and have a good time.
But you can only do that once.
You can come back to it every once in a while.
I don't think so. It looks real dumb. But that's okay. Alrighty. So, Call of Duty Ghosts this week showed us that they know exactly who their audience is with their with their latest skin pack. the blunt force camo.
I can't believe that's real. I can't believe that's real.
420 blaze it, faggot.
Can't believe that's real.
420 blaze it, faggot.
I heard that announcement. I was like, there's no way. This is just a prank. This is April Fool's or something.
Just like at the end of the month.
No, not at all. Doesn't it also come with like Snoop Dogg or something?
Yeah, I saw. That's bizarre. Why is he voicing?
I don't.
Like, okay, Call of Duty is really strange because they're starting to sell a lot of cosmetic stuff that doesn't totally make sense to me. Like, announcers and stuff for the game. Have you heard Snoop Dogg's announcement pack for COD?
No.
It's bizarre. He's
I
like...
bet it's Snoop Dogg.
It sounds not correct.
I think they need the Bastion guy.
The Bastion guy's great. He's easily the best. He's easily the best announcer for Dota 2. But Snoop Dogg in COD, he's like, don't just go for one Carizzle at like when you get like a chain. It's like not just one kill Rizzle, and I'm like, the fuck am I listening to? No, go, leave my games. It's too weird, too weird.
I don't even know what to think about that. That's just.
It's like how Ice-T read an audiobook for Audible. It's like a Dungeons and Dragons book though, and apparently that sounds bizarre too.
I wonder why.
Yeah, I don't see how that Call of Duty voice pack is like going to sell. It sounds bizarre. Like it's almost too distracting for me. Because
it comes with a weed camo. That's how it's gonna sell.
I don't think it does. I think it's sold separately. I think that's $2, and I think the weed camos in a pack of skins that's $2.
Oh, I thought it was like a package. The announcer and the weed camo.
I don't think so.
Doesn't matter. What happened, Activision? Remember good times of Call of Duty 4? What happened to you?
Yeah, what are you doing, Infinity Ward?
Oh yeah, Infinity Ward on Activision. Makes me sad.
Activision owns them, so...
Yeah. What else was new with the news?
So, they found the ET cartridges in the middle of the desert in a landfill.
Told you they'd be there.
So, yesterday they did... I think it was yesterday, correct? Yeah, it was yesterday. So, yesterday they started the dig in the... in Alamogordo. And they were trying to find copies of E.T., like the Atari 2600 game, E.T. So, here's the story behind E.T., and this is kind of like a bizarre story for video games. It sounds almost like the prologue to a, like, bad fantasy novel. So, back in the mid 80s, when console gaming collapsed, the blame was that Atari destroyed the market by releasing E.T. for the Atari 2600, which was a cheap cash-in on the E.T. movie. And this is why I was hoping that Shane was going to be on, because he just did his positives on... Well, he did positives on E.T., and
yeah,
I feel like they're perfectly timed together, but... but he's not on, so we'll have to talk about it next month when he comes back on. Be like, hey, they found him.
Yeah.
But... So, they made 700,000 of these cartridges, basically bankrupted Atari. Like, all of Atari's money went into these cartridges because they thought it was going to sell really well. In fact, they made more cartridges than they had manufactured consoles. Because they're like, this game's going to sell well. It's going to sell consoles because of how well the game sells. Like, it's a big deal. And the game is notorious for being one of the worst video games ever made. If not the worst. Once again, Shane kind of really would highly dispute that. He thinks it's actually kind of playable. I've never played it, but it looks awful. And so an Atari an Atari manager said, told the Associated Press that more than 700,000 cartridges were buried back in September of 1983 at this landfill, but then it was also later said that that was a lie. And so one of video gaming's biggest, I guess, mysteries is whether or not these cartridges existed in this landfill in New Mexico. And so as part of Microsoft's push to make the Xbox platform not just a video game platform but an all-around entertainment system, they've been doing their own original programming or planning on it. And this is part of it, that they were doing this documentary about E.T. And
I'm interested to see the documentary and how it looks and how it turns out.
Yeah, and so part of the documentary is that they have, if you're doing a documentary about E.T. and how bad that video game is, you have to go to the landfill and excavate it and find the cartridges. That's how that documentary ends. And so they went there and they found the cartridges. And no one expected them to find cartridges. At least I didn't. Because it's been so many years of Atari saying, no, that we didn't bury those cartridges. You're crazy. But they did. They found them. Packaging and all.
I called it. It's interesting because kind of ruins the AVGN movie coming out.
Yeah, it does. The interesting thing though about the landfill is that there's not just E.T. that was in there. There's a couple other Atari games that were in there. There's the port of Centipede. So that's on Atari. They found a bunch of Centipede for Atari 2600 and Breakout for the Atari 2600. So it's not just E.T. that was buried out there. There were a bunch of other Atari games buried out there,
including Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh yes, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. I forgot about that.
In there too.
Also a notoriously bad game.
Yep.
Quite silly. Quite silly. God, what else happened this week?
Batman died. No, I didn't. I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
Lying to you. I'm lying to you.
I think I would have read that. Did you see any of the Evolve trailers from PAX? Because I guess we didn't really talk about PAX the week that we did the PAX podcast. We just talked about hookup threads on Craigslist of people who were at PAX. We didn't actually talk about anything that was at PAX. We just talked about Craigslist.
No.
Oh, dude, you should see it. It looks like what I kind of want Left 4 Dead to be. It looks like a better follow-up to that than what I think Left 4 Dead 3 would be.
Is that what the Left 4 Dead team is working on?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That does... I've heard good things about that so far.
Yeah, I'm kind of excited for that game.
Okay,
I don't want to say I'm excited, but if the rest of the materials for that game that come out this year, to market it, continue to look as good then I would consider buying it. Like,
yeah.
because there's not a lot of stuff coming out this year that I really want to buy. But also, I'm looking for like co-op games. I really want games I can play with other people now.
Yeah. Get a PS2.
Get a PS2. No. I have a Wii U. I'm not looking for games that I can play like... I'm not looking for couch co-op stuff, but I am looking for stuff like to play on PC that's co-op. I'm just looking for multiplayer stuff. Because like, my girlfriend kind of likes to play games, so...
Yeah.
It's useful. Oh, yes. So, there was a patch that came out this week for my favorite game of all time. Surprisingly, it came out.
What game?
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines got patch 9.0 this week. It came out, on like Friday. So, if you don't know what happened to this game was the first Source game to ever be made. Like, the Source engine. It was the first game to ever be made on that, but it couldn't release until a day after Half-Life 2 because of contractual obligations with Valve that they couldn't release their game before Half-Life 2 came out. So they had to wait like several months to release their game even though it was done. And it was kind of buggy. It was pretty buggy. But it's still my favorite game just because it's like got really good mechanics. It's an old style like computer RPG basically.
Yeah.
And it's really good. It's got vampires. It's set in the World of Darkness world. And the company that made it, they closed down in 2005.
Oh, I know what game you're talking about.
Yeah.
I had to look it up. I watched my friend play it. It's a great game.
It's my favorite game. I play it every single year. I'll probably stream it this year in like October or something. I play it every year because I always play it like differently. And all these patches come out that's like slightly change it. There's a lot of community patches. And patch 9.0 came out. It's obviously a community patch because the company that made the game closed down in 2005. But this is like the longest patching period I've ever seen on a game. We're 9 years past this game's release and we got another patch. Because like some of the old development teams still patches this game or like works on the community patches, so they're like mildly official. But yeah, it was bizarre. Like what happened, this game basically came out, it was a buggy mess, most of the company got laid off, and like 3 dudes who were still working at the company basically worked there for another 9 months just patching the game. And then the company closed down, and then 2 of those dudes still kept patching the game even though the company was closed down. And yeah, patches for this game will just come out forever.
Forever and ever.
It's a really good game. If you haven't played it, you should definitely
is a good game. I can definitely say that.
Yeah, it's totally worth it. On the Steam sales, you can usually get it for like $5. It's worth it. It doesn't look that old, like, because it's a Source engine game, it kind of looks like Half-Life 2, and I mean, graphics haven't... There hasn't been a huge leap in 3D graphics since Source engine came out that would make this look gross. So you can still totally play it, and if you're a graphics whore, not be too upset over it.
Graphics whores. Deal with it. Play some Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Alright, we gotta try to fill out about 20 minutes of time.
Alright.
Jesus. So, Clockwork Empires is coming out to Steam Early Access.
Yeah?
Yeah, do you know Dungeons & Dreadmore?
No.
No?
I'd be lying if I said yes.
Okay. So, Dungeons & Dreadmore is like a really good roguelike that came out a few years ago. It's one of the first big like indie games. It's like the indie game, it's one of the big indie games that kind of hit and made a lot of money after like Super Meat Boy.
Okay.
and it's made by Gaslamp, and they made the announcement that they're going to release on Steam Early Access this year for their next game, which is called Clockwork Empires, which I know one of the guys who were working on this game. Like, I know a bunch of guys from Gaslamp because they're kind of local, but I'm pretty sure this is like an RTS style game. It's a strategy game, I'm pretty sure, but I can't be sure. I'd have to ask him about it again, but that's what it sounded like when he explained it to me. But he's been developing games for a long time. I basically got introduced to him because he gave a lecture at my school about Dwarf Fortress. So I'm always interested to see what he works on, because Dungeons of Dreadmore was really cool and much better than like the other shit that he was making back in the 90s, because like he used to work for EA, and so he used to like, this is EA back before like any of the shit they're doing now. This is EA back when EA did like things that were interesting. However, he worked in EA Sports, so he was making baseball games for the N64. He hates the N64. He doesn't hate the N64 as a platform, like for games. He hates the N64 as a platform to develop for. He's like, I can't do it, man. I hate it. The N64 was terrible. Why didn't they use CDs like everyone else?
No clue.
But I'm always interested to see what they're up to, so. So what games are you looking forward to be playing now that you have time?
Now that I have time, I recently bought Devil May Cry. I've been really wanting to play that, never played it. I tried to play it when I got home from school one day, and I fell asleep while I was playing it, so it didn't go too well. So I'm excited to get into that.
I've got the last couple ones on my Steam account, so you can play those after you get through with the first couple.
Nice. I'm
because like 1 and 3 are the best Devil May Cries. 2 and 4 are worth playing though. That reboot, no good.
It's no good. Right.
Well, okay, here's the deal. If you're not like, if you don't have a really strong, I guess like, if you don't love Devil May Cry, then the reboot, you won't mind it, because like it's not a bad game. It's just not nearly as good as all of the Devil May Cries before it. And they do some thematic stuff that I don't really like. Mostly they change Dante in a way that makes him like too edgy instead of just like cheesy. He's like edgy now and serious.
Yeah.
And also there's some combat stuff that's really fucking stupid in the New Game Plus modes.
I'll have to check it out when I get there. But I'm excited to get into that. My friend's letting me borrow Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS, and I've been playing that a bit, so I'm excited to get into that a little bit more. Hopefully beat it. I'm having trouble with that right now because I'm a completionist, so pretty much getting like everything before I go on to the next level. So that's taken a little bit, but I'm enjoying it so far. It's a great game. And I think there's been an update for Hat in Time since I last played it, so I want to check that out.
I should play that.
It's a good game.
It's in my library. Like, I should just
because of me.
Yeah.
You should check it out. It's cool. If not, you could definitely just wait until like the full game's out, or until beta at least, because it is kind of small right now with the alpha. You can literally beat the alpha in like half an hour to an hour if you know what you're doing.
Yeah, but that's about the amount of time that I have to play games lately. Like,
yeah,
is that I have time to sit down for an hour. So like, it's not a terrible idea. Is that game under NDA?
What do you mean?
Like a non-disclosure agreement? Like you're not allowed to talk? No, okay, I didn't think so.
No, it's not. No.
Maybe I'll do like a quick video on it or something.
Yeah.
Like a quick 5-minute video or something. Because I'm going to have a bunch of time this week, because my girlfriend's going home. Like, or well, when I say home, I mean, like, to her parents' place, so. I should have time, like, so I have a few plans this week. Monday, maybe Tuesday, I finish the South Park review. I need to edit it, and then I'm going to put it out. So I have a few hours of work left to put into that. But I had to basically delay putting those couple hours of work into it because I wanted to not go into a fight not ready. Because it was bare knuckle, and if I didn't train, I probably would have came out much more hurt than I am now. I have bruises on me, but I'm not broken.
Thankfully.
Yeah. I'll probably post a video of it later on Facebook.
Nice.
If you want to watch it.
I'll have to check it out.
It's like a 2-minute. It was lame. I'm used to knockdown karate, so knockdown karate is bare knuckle as well and full contact, but you get a point if you knock down the other person, and then the person has 3 seconds to get back up, and if they can't get back up in the 3 seconds, then like they lose because it counts as it's like the equivalent of in boxing, but they don't give you a 10-second count; they give you a 3. And in this, it's the same deal. You get a point if you knock them down, and if they don't get up in 3 seconds, then they lose. But you also get a point if you kick them in the head and their head moves. But if you kick someone in the head, they always move their head. And the dude was taller than me, so I couldn't kick him in the head. And he beat me by 2 points because he kicked me in the head twice. I was like, fuck.
That sucks.
My only way to beat him was if I like hit him hard enough in the body, he fell down. And there was only 2 minutes, so I didn't have enough time. Also, in knockdown karate, because you only get a point for a knockdown, the bouts end up being way longer than 2 minutes. They're like 5 minutes, but they get extended to 10 or 15 until someone gets knocked down. Because they only give away a point if you knock the person down, not if you just hit them hard. So I was like, So I lost by 2 points because of head kicks, but
that sucks.
If it was a knockdown bout, it would have went on for another like 10 minutes until one of us fell over. So, but yeah, I was getting ready for that. So I'm gonna get that South Park review done, and I don't know what game I'm gonna review this month because like I kind of want to do Dark Souls 2, but it would take way too long. It's gonna take me 2 months to beat that game.
Yeah.
So
who knows?
Start playing that now and review it later. Maybe I'll go back to like games that I missed from last year.
Yeah, maybe.
Do like 3D World or something.
Yeah.
Because that game's really good.
It is.
I don't know. I've always got games. Maybe I just won't do a review and I'll do like a retrospective on like a game that's really old that no one played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you could review Vampire Masquerade Bloodline.
Yeah, like I could do that. Because I haven't. I don't really have anything else to play. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot of games like coming out that I really want to play. I just want to play like Dark Souls 2 and I guess Age of Wonders 3, because Age of Wonders is really good.
Yeah.
So hopefully 3 is just as good.
Or it's 10 times worse. Hopefully not.
Yeah, who knows?
Yeah, well, you will when you play it.
That's true. God, there's like nothing that's been going on in video games. It's super frustrating to do a video game podcast on this.
I know.
I feel like maybe we should just end with a 45-minute podcast this week.
I guess so.
I feel like that's okay.
Were there any questions that have been... No one loves us? All right.
No one loves us.
Okay.
I guess what we'll end off with is I'm just gonna like go ahead and announce that we have guests for all of next month.
Yeah.
So we don't have someone for the 4th, but we're talking to Rerez. He's gonna come on in May, and there's only 2 weeks that he can come on that we don't have booked already. So he might be on next week, or he might be on in the last week of May. For the 11th, we have Rated S for Sandwich joining us as a guest.
Mr. Tom Schlickberg.
Yes.
the fuck you say his last name? I love that guy.
Todd Schlickburn.
Yeah, Slickburn.
That's a great channel. He does great reviews. I really like his content. So yeah, Re-Res will be coming on sometime in May. Date not confirmed yet. Congratulations to him. He just got featured on Kotaku this week.
Yes, he did.
And he hit 6,000 subs. He's a busy dude.
He's catching up to me.
He does 3 episodes a week.
I know. But it's like, I talked to him about it, and I could see how he does it, so it's cool.
But, and then Rated S for Sounders is going to come on, and then the week after that, the 18th, we will be having Super Samicom on.
He's also an amazing guy with some amazing content.
Yeah, he just did a review of Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes with Tentacle Touchy.
Yep.
Who has been on the podcast once and helped set me up with a few people, so
that's always good.
Plus, he does a great wrestling show.
Yeah, he does. It's one great wrestling show. I know.
We're fighting for the tag team title next week.
Really? You're in it too? Oh, that's awesome. Yes.
The Dapper Gaming Podcast is a tag team.
That's amazing.
And it's you and me.
This is the first I'm hearing of it. I'm glad.
Yes. And we're fighting for the tag team title. It should be good.
Yeah.
The first time that I ended up doing tag team, I did it with Justin and Jarrett, and then Jarrett got tapped out and we lost.
God damn it.
All Jarrett's fault. But the other tag team that's happening next week is Game Grumps vs. Silvermania.
That should be interesting. Should be a good one. His wrestling show is always good.
It is always good.
Twitch.tv/The Tentacle Touchy. Go follow that. I think it's The Tentacle Touchy. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Use the Google. You'll find it.
So, yeah, I guess that just about does it for this week. We'll have way more stuff next week because
do we have a guest?
We'll find one. I'm gonna we'll
find people.
I'm gonna talk to Shane right after the podcast about it. So,
all right, perfect.
Because he'll either hopefully can come on next week, in which case he'll be on next week. Otherwise, he'll be on like the end of the month. There's also a few other people that I messaged who never messaged me back because people probably don't check their YouTube messages.
Love you.
Because they're bad. No, just you don't check your YouTube messages because fucking that's what you don't do when you have 5,000 subs. Because you just get spam. We have 150 and I just get spam. So like I don't fucking check them. So imagine if you had like 10,000.
Yep.
Yeah. No way you're fucking checking those. But also, so many people don't put any contact information on anything. They're like, I don't have a Facebook page, but I also don't have an email. So, yeah, send me YouTube messages. Then you send them. They don't fucking respond.
Doesn't help that it's fucking YouTube, like, barely notifies you when you get YouTube messages anyways.
Yeah, unless you have email notifications on.
Yep, no one wants that shit.
So I'm gonna go track down the other people. What I'm gonna do is start just Well, I'm not gonna track them down. I mean, I know people who know them, so I'm gonna be like, "Hey,
front door.
Can you message this person for me?" I sent them a message, but I don't think they saw it. But yeah. Well, now that we're scheduling guests weeks in advance instead of days, this should get a lot easier. We should have a lot less guest list podcasts. So, we will see you ladies and gentlemen next week for the next episode of the Dapper Gaming Podcast.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.